Welcome back to another lesson on the book of Matthew. As we survey Matthew, the book of Matthew, we're now in probably lesson 12 or 13, but we're on chapter 17. Matthew chapter 17. So get a Bible if you would. Join me in Matthew 17 if you're taking notes to review later. We're going to look at three distinct sections of this chapter. There is a fourth that's only just a verse or two there. That is another part of it, but the distinction is three. So in the first part of Matthew chapter 17, this is going to be verses 1 through 13. And Matthew 17, 1 through 13 is the account of Jesus taking his disciples upon what is commonly accepted as Mount Tabor and the Mount of Transfiguration. And it's here that Jesus is ministered to by Moses and by Elijah in a dimension of glory, in a dimension of a spiritual dimension that is going to encourage him as a man to go on and complete his mission on the Passover that was coming. Then in part 2, which is verses 14 through 21, these verses are the account of a child that needed deliverance from darkness. And the disciples attempted this, and then Jesus, of course, had to finish the work. And his teaching them about how power flows and how we sustain spiritual power within us. Then in verses 24 through 27 is the miracle of the tribute or the custom. Under Roman government, anyone who was conquered in their empirical and conquests, the Empire of Rome conquered a territory, they started charging a tax called a tribute or a custom. And so Jesus is confronted about this, and Simon Peter goes to the sea, casts in a hook, and Jesus told him the first fish you pull up, open his mouth, and in that fish's mouth will be the tax money, the tribute money. Go and pay for me and for you, he told Simon Peter. So these are the three areas. Now, I skipped over verses 22 and 23 because this is I think, although it's just a couple of verses, I think this is kind of the theme of the chapter. And that is Jesus is approaching. Jesus is getting closer to the time when he's going to become the sacrifice for sin. And the chapter begins with that encouragement out of the law and the prophets, the law being Moses and the prophets being Elijah. And so there is this need for encouragement, and Jesus then is able to talk about it in verses 22 and 23. And he again mentions to his disciples that there's coming a day when the Son of Man, the humanity of Jesus, is going to come under attack, and he's going to suffer and die and rise again the third day. So these are the three distinct parts, and then that overarching, overspreading concept for Matthew chapter 17. So I encourage you, as you look through this chapter, keep that survey in mind and the context of each part, and the Lord will, I know, bless your study and look into Matthew 17. God bless you. Have a wonderful day in Jesus' name.